Chapter 22. Then answered Eliphaz the Temanite, and said, Can a man be profitable unto God? Or can he that is wise be profitable unto him? Is it any advantage to the Almighty that you are righteous, or is it a gain to him that you makest your ways blameless? Is it for your fear of him that he reproveth you, that he entereth with you into judgment? Is not your wickedness great? And are not your iniquities without end? For you have taken pledges of your brother for naught, and stripped the naked of their clothing. You have not given water to the weary to drink, and you have withholden bread from the hungry. And as a mighty man who hath the earth, and as a man of rank who dwelleth in it, you have sent widows away empty, and the arms of the fatherless have been broken. Therefore snares are round about you, and sudden dread affrighted you, or darkness, that you canst not see, and abundance of waters cover you. Is not God in the height of heaven? And behold, the topmost of the stars, how high they are. And you sayest, What doth God know? Can he judge through the dark cloud? Thick clouds are a covering to him, that he seeth not, and he walketh in the circuit of heaven. Wilt you keep the old way which wicked men have trodden, who were snatched away before their time, whose foundation was poured out as a stream? Who said unto God, Depart from us. And what could the Almighty do unto them? Yet he filled their houses with good things, but the counsel of the wicked is far from me. The righteous saw it, and were glad, and the innocent laughed them to scorn. Surely their substance is cut off, and their abundance the fire hath consumed. Acquaint now yourself with him, and be at peace, thereby shalt your increase be good. Receive, I pray you, instruction from his mouth, and lay up his words in your heart. If you return to the Almighty, you shall be built up. If you put away unrighteousness far from your tents, and lay your treasures in the dust, and the gold of Ophir among the stones of the brooks, and the Almighty be your treasure, and precious silver unto you, then surely shalt you have your delight in the Almighty, and shalt lift up your face unto God. You shalt make your prayer unto him, and he will hear you, and you shalt pay your vows. You shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto you, and light shall shine upon your ways. When they cast you down, you shall say, There is lifting up. For the humble person he saves. He delivereth him that is innocent. Yes, you shall be delivered through the cleanliness of your hands. All right. Let's go back up to verse 1. Now Eliphaz has responded. Of course, Eliphaz is that mighty one of this fine gold, or this refined gold. He's of the Temanite. He's the one out of the south. And he's responded to Job. Yesterday, Job, or the last chapter, Job had said, Listen. He's going to tell them something. He told them to listen closely. We'll find out. They was already thinking about what they was going to say, and they probably didn't hear a word Job said. But Job was basically telling him, we can look around and see, hey, look at the wicked man. He's prospering, the great thief. He ain't hurting. He thinks he's got gathering treasures and riches to himself, and somehow he's got by with it. We'll find out it's not the case. I mean, it may appear this way, but it's not the case. We'll find out later. When we all come to the grave, we all got one cause. See, there we're equal, and that's what Job's trying to say. When they get to the grave, it doesn't matter if you were rich or poor. That's gone. See, all that's gone, and it didn't do you no good at this point. At this point, you're dead, and the worms are crawling over top of you. And it's not going to do no good now, anything that you can gain. But we'll find out. It's much like being able to recognize a voice, being able to recognize or hear, being able to understand. See, there's to listen for the call, and some can hear, and we'll find out that some just have to. Takes a little more time. We'll pick it up here in verse 1. Then answered Eliphaz the Temanite and said, 2. Can a man be profitable unto God? Or can he that is wise be profitable unto him? Can a man be profitable? What can a man do for God? What good is it for God? What good does it do to God? What profit does it bring to God in a way that would be a service to him, so to speak? 3. Is it any advantage to the Almighty that you are righteous, or is it gain to him that you makest your ways blameless? Is it an advantage to the Almighty? He's eternal. He has no blame. He is the blameless. He is what that is. That you are righteous, that you be righteous, that you be just, that you set your ways to be correct before God. Is it any gain to him? What good does it do God that you make your ways blameless? We'll find out that God didn't say it was going to do him any good. God said keep the law for your good. 4. Is it for your fear of him that he reproves you, that he entereth with you into judgment? Is it because of your fear of him? Is it because of the fact that you're scared of God? You have fear of God punishing you, and him reproving you, that he enters into this judgment with you? Is this why that God enters into judgment with us? 5. Is not your wickedness great, and are not your iniquities without end? Or is it that your wickedness is great, that you have much sin within you, and your perversions are without end? There's no counting this. Is this what's brought you to the fear? 6. For you have taken pledges of your brother for naught, and stripped the naked of their clothing. For you have taken pledges of your brother for naught. These are for no good, for vain, and it was like a waste. These pledges, it's like to give out a loan with collateral, and these to the worthless. This would be for those that has no cause. It's done no good, and strip the naked of their clothing. And by doing this, those that really needed, they didn't get what they really had to have to cover themselves. What Eliphaz now is, he is accusing you of the adverseness of what he's done. It's accusing him for the opposite reaction for what he's done. Even though Job has loaned to those that didn't have nothing, he's saying that it took away from those that really needed it. 7. You have not given water to the weary to drink, and you have withholden bread from the hungry. You have not given water to the weary to drink, and withheld bread from the hungry. This is to give understanding and nourishment. To give understanding and nourishment. And as a mighty man who hath the earth, and as a man of rank who dwelleth in it. And you're a mighty man. You had substance. And you had all these things, and you was a man of rank, people well known in the earth, and one who dwelled in it, right among them. 9. You have sent widows away empty, and the arms of the fatherless have been broken. You have sent these widows away empty, and these widows are those whose husband has been taken away, and this husband is whom they would be a reflection of his understanding. This one who tends, helps. This would be the helpmate. The wife would be the reflection of her husband's understanding. And the arms of the fatherless have been broken. And the fatherless are those that don't have a father. They have no greater light in their life, so to speak, a masculine understanding, a forceful way, a strength. We can look at it that way. It's kind of like the father gives the law, and the mother teaches the children in a kinder way to avoid the wrath of the father, as so to speak, in that sense of the understanding. 10. Therefore snares are round about you, and sudden dread affrighted you. Therefore are these snares round about you. These traps are laid all around you, see. And this sudden dread has frighted you. It's come upon you, Job. And Eliphaz is making strong accusations here. Or is it the darkness, 11, that you canst not see, and abundance of waters that covers you? Or is it the darkness? Is it the ignorance of what's going on? And Job's already made it clear that he understands those that are in the darkness who can't understand it. He's told them there's nothing that they know that he doesn't understand. Job's done thought about all this. He's not an ignorant man. Or is it the abundance of waters that cover you? All these understandings that come in from this, that's what waters is. See, God destroyed the earth with the waters before in the beginning, and that was with all these understandings. And they're like waters, they flood. And they drown you in your understanding for the multitude of them. See, but in the end, we learn that these waters don't exist. 12. Is not God in the height of heaven? And behold the topmost of the stars, how high they are. Is not God in the height of heaven? That's where God dwells. And behold the topmost of the stars, he is the greater of all the lights, how high they are. And the topmost of the stars is the highest star, how high they are, or how far away it is. Saying this would be where God, in their understanding, would dwell. But we'll find out that being a way of looking at it that is a similitude. It's a similitude. God doesn't necessarily dwell in outer space above the stars somewhere. 13. And you sayest, what doth God know? Can he judge through the dark cloud? And you say, and God, what does God know? Well, I don't think Job said that, but can he judge through the dark cloud? This one, then what's Eliphaz is saying? You think you can hide yourself there in your darkness, and judgment's plain. We see that, but you're not hiding yourself. We see you. Basically in a way he's saying this, because can he judge through this dark cloud, this dark covering I've made for myself, so to speak. He's accusing Job of this dark cloud. That's the negative. Dark's the negative. It's that which hides from our eyes vision or sight. See, that which we need to go by, and this would be considered a negative. 14. Thick clouds are a covering to him that he sees not, and he walks in the circuit of heaven. Thick clouds are a covering to him that he sees not. He doesn't see through these clouds, but he walks in the circuits of heaven. And Job's not said this. His rule is only in heaven, and he walks in the circuits of it, keeping the ways of it. That would be a lack of understanding in that, because God is the God of heaven and a God of earth. We must find that out. 15. Will you keep the old way which wicked men have trodden? No, will you keep the old way which wicked men have trodden? And that understanding that there is no God, and this is what he's trying to say. 16. Who were snatched away before their time, whose foundation was poured out as a stream. These who were snatched away from before their time, they was taken away early. We'll find out, because his intent is towards the house of the priest, or the house of that understanding, and they was poured out as a stream whose foundation God, will find out, ripped up. 17. Who said unto God, depart from us, and what could the Almighty do unto them? These that said unto God, depart from us. And what could God do to them? Because they departed from God. 18. Yet he filled their houses with good things. But the counsel of the wicked is far from me. And what did God do? He filled their house with good things. He made it a good thing, pleasurable thing, wonderful, beautiful. 19. The righteous saw it and were glad, and the innocent laughed them to scorn. The righteous saw it, the just saw these things, and they were glad. Why? Because it was a witness. And the innocent, they laughed them to scorn. And those that are innocent, those that don't have, are blameless, we should say. This word innocent is naki, and what it means is they're clean. They're clean. They're free of guilt. They ain't done nothing. Much like Job himself. And we'll find out that he's making an accusation that they've stood up as a witness of theirself. 20. Surely their substance is cut off, and the abundance of the fire hath consumed. Surely now the substance is cut off, because the thief's not known. His substance is cut off, that which nourishes the inside, and only his flesh. He thinks he can get by with seeking only these things that keep his flesh nourished. And he seeks after all those things. That's all the thief's interested in, see? And he thinks because he has all his booty that he's done a good thing. But we'll find out the abundance of the fire hath consumed. And that's the judgment. See, that's the judgment for violation of the law. 21. Acquaint now yourself with him, and be at peace. Thereby shall your increase be good. Now acquaint yourself with him, God, and be at peace. Now associate yourself with God, is what Eliphaz is telling Job, as if Job hasn't associated himself with God. That's what Job's doing, and Eliphaz has no understanding what's going on within Job and what's going on. He's come up with his assumptions, making accusations against Job, accusing even Job of wrongful doing, sin, just because he sees a little bit of affliction in life. 22. Receive, I pray you, instruction from his mouth, and lay up his words in your heart. Receive, I pray you, instruction from his mouth, and lay up his words in your heart. Now, there's no wrong in that understanding, no. Receive God's understanding, receive his instruction from his mouth, from that place where God pours out. That's there at the law and the understanding of it. Lay up his words in your heart and into your understanding. These words, even those words he gave in the beginning, it wasn't a multitude of them. 23. If you return to the Almighty, you shall be built up. If you put away unrighteousness far from your tents. If you return to the Almighty, you shall be built up. And that's to return to his understanding, return to God's law, return to those things he give you. See, for your good. If you put away this unrighteousness far from your tent, if you do good and be just, and put this unrighteousness far from your tents, from your house, from your places of your abode, from your children. We'll find out. Give your children instruction. 24. And lay the treasures in the dust, and the gold of Ophir among the stones of the brooks. And lay the treasures in the dust, and the gold of Ophir. This gold of Ophir is this pure gold. It's gold in its pure form, found, not needing to be refined. See, it's pure gold found in a natural form, and that's what it refers to. This gold of Ophir was greatly sought, and the stones of the brooks, put them among the stones of the brooks, just like any other rock. Treat this pure gold like it's just any other rock. 25. And the Almighty be your treasure, and precious silver unto you. Let the Almighty be your treasure. Let God be your treasure, and this precious silver, or that which is used to be refined and to make things out of, coinage and jewelry and precious things from. 26. Then surely shalt you have your delight in the Almighty, and shalt lift up your face unto God. Then you shall have your delight in the Almighty. Then you will have pleasure in God. When you put God first, and God is the most precious thing in your life, your most precious thing. And you shall make, 27, you shall make your prayer unto him, and he will hear you, and you shall pay your vows. You shall make your prayer unto him. Then you'll be able to pray unto God. See, when he's and once again, Eliphaz is accusing you. Here, there's accusation in this understanding. Here, Eliphaz is saying you don't make your prayers unto him. He's not listening to you. You ain't paying your vows. See, because you shall pay your vows. God will give you ability. See, that's what it says. God will give you ability. But right now, you don't have none. Eliphaz is looking there at Job, sitting in his boils, in his punishment after losing everything he's got, and making accusations strong hard against Job. Job's being browbeaten. See, and that's what it means. He's being here browbeaten. He's being this one that's looked down on. He's hated. 28. You shall also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto you, and light shall shine upon your ways. You shall also decree a thing, and decree a thing there, this word should be, you should also separate a thing. Make something set aside for yourself, and it shall be established unto you. And light shall shine upon your ways. This light shall shine upon your ways. That there should be light, there should be understanding upon your path. See, that you can go and have understanding as you go, not going forth blindly, having no understanding in the world. See, but the thing here is that this decree of thing is to set aside something that shall be established to you, to give you this light, to give you this witness. But we'll find out these things are to be decreed by God. 29. When they cast you down, you shall say, there is lifting up. For the humble person, he saves. When they cast you down, when you're low and brought low, we'll find out. You shall say, there is lifting up. For the humble person, God saves. God saves anybody that calls on God. God saves anybody that turns to him. That the salvation comes not from the total humility of one's life, but to the humility of your understanding, knowing that God gave you a little bit in the beginning so that you could have some. See, because if he hadn't, you would have been denied altogether. They would have kept it for themselves. 30. He delivers him that is innocent. Yes, you shall be delivered through the cleanliness of your hands. God delivers him that is innocent. God watches over him that is innocent. God sets his paths, his ways. See, God does these things. You shall be delivered through the cleanliness of your hands, through the washing of your hands. And through the washing of your hands is hands is your works, your abilities to work, through making clean your abilities to do things in life. And clean is to be right, to not be defiled by filth, to not get sin upon you, transgression. And this sin can be defined by the law of God, and no other way can it be defined. The law of man does not define sin. The law of God does, and always will. And that is the correct understanding in it. We're going to move forward to chapter 23. Turn and return.